Hey, my beautiful swords, how are you doing today? I am so happy for Eat with Q, her, her walk with God, which is number one. You know, she is in Barbados, which is a beautiful, beautiful island. And I've been looking it up on YouTube, different people who lives in Barbados and that has traveled that. That lip gloss, man, just stuck to my lips. But anyway, I'm so proud of her. I'm proud of her journey. I mean, she get to live out her heart's desire. Who wouldn't want to live out their heart desire? And she's young enough, she's healthy enough, and she will be meeting her husband there soon. Her husband will be there soon with her. And like I said, man, I commend her because so many of us people, not just, people my hue, but people in general have, limit themselves from enjoying life, enjoying different cultures, enjoying different foods and just life and nature and the beauty of the world that God created for us. And I mean, she had on her bathing suit. The last one I seen, she was in the market. It was on her other channel, her and her husband's channel. But the first one was on her channel. She was in her house. She was in her bathing suit. And I see that she has dropped a couple of pounds. And she's just doing her thing. I have no grievance whatsoever with this young lady living her life the way she's living. And I don't have nothing bad to say about her. I don't have nothing bad to say about her outfit, her bathing suit, or whatever, because, hey, she living her life. She's not afraid, man. And that's what I'm talking about. Being a warrior, having that warrior spirit, you cannot be afraid to do the things that other people put limitations on you. Never live your life based upon somebody else's viewpoint of you. Never live your life and allow people to put you in a box. You got to be able to step outside of that box. You got to be able to see beyond. You got to be able to see yourself without limitations. And so once you start manifesting that in your mind, your life that is surrounding you will show the evidence. You know what I'm saying? I would have loved to have traveled like that. I was just talking to one of my nieces the other day, and she has traveled everywhere. She had just went to Hawaii. I didn't know she was in Hawaii. I think she was there for like 2 to 3 weeks. And which I know Hawaii is a part of the United States. But she was there for 2 weeks. And she also went to Florida, which we can drive from Florida from state to state. But she used to be the type of person that when she was young, her parent put limitations on her. Then when she started staying with me, her aunt, I broke her out of those limitations. I'm like, never let nobody put you in a corner. Don't let anybody try to dictate to you what your life is going to be. You got your own life's journey. Nobody else can make that journey for you. And that's why I'm always saying about protect what you hear, what you think, what you see. Protect those things. And, also protect your language, because like I said, sometimes I get off the chain, but, sometimes you have to protect everything. And even if your environment, if you feel like you're moving too slow, or people are not give you recognition okay, just say like this right here. I made a video, I think it was like a week or two ago, and I was talking about genetics. I was talking about the DNA, things of that nature. And I was talking about the blood. But I noticed I was watching my girl, which like I said, I'm crazy about her. She's living her authentic life, and I'm crazy about her. She was talking about the blood. She said, I'm old. She didn't say she was old negative or old positive. But I'm glad that she put it out there because her platform is bigger than mine. We as Black people and all people needs to know, number one, what your blood type is. And that shows you what you can put inside of your body. Medications, foods, certain waters. If you drink water, just like you eat food, you should pray over your water. You should pray over everything that you put into your mouth. Now, I know this is going to be used to, but you should pray over your... But they would not call your name out. They would not give you no recognition, but that's okay. Because like I said, she's got a bigger platform than me. Just as long as I know that the knowledge is out there. And I know that she may not admit to it because she has such a large platform that she has viewed my channel. I have went through YouTube. I'm on YouTube now, and I'm looking at it and I'm saying, how many Black people I know talk about the blood? The different definitions like A, B, O, and O positive, O negative, AB positive. How many? I haven't seen any. Like I said, I did my research, and it's been years. I got a booklet over here that I have been writing this stuff down about what we can eat, what's good for us, and what's not good for us. And by being O positive blood type, we are the original. We are the most oldest blood type it is in the world. We was hunters and gatherers. And like I said, don't take my word for it, research it, just like she said. Okay, B-Love. I know, but she's not going to give me no recognition, like I said, but that's her thing. But the godly thing is, I'm going to give my recognition to people. I know my channel's small. I know it can be ratchet at times, but it still doesn't change me of who I am as a person. And like I said, I've never allowed anybody to put me in a box. And I don't want you to let anybody put you in a box. There is so many layers to me, to my thinking process, and to the type of person that I am, that I don't even think that I could even put enough in writing in order to actually describe who I am. And, so y'all can understand who I am. But I'm on here, I told you I was going to try to do something in my head. Look at this. Boy, that don't make no sense. Look at that. All this stripy hair. They used to call me, when I was in my 20s, stripes. If I didn't dye my hair because it was striped, these colors. The gray, my granny said silver, but the gray, the reddish brown or maroon or copper, whatever you call it, and then the black. But like I said, the gray does not match my skin. And I'm not going for fashion, and I like what I like. I like black hair. But whenever I get a chance to, I am gonna dye my hair. And, I'm not trying to stay young because I know my age, I'm not trying to look young. I'm not trying to, put a falseness about myself out there, because my brain is matured. I do have silly ways sometimes. And like I said, I laugh at myself a lot of times because to me, I'm funny. And I do funny things. I'm quirky and I'm quirky looking. So I just have never had a problem or issues with the type of female that I am. And I also want to say this right here because I've been watching on YouTube what they talking about what they call the trans people and the natural woman. The woman, I mean, the child that was at birth was born female. And I'm not even going to say assigned. That's so stupid. That's such a dumb word. And it's like when they send oh, we're birthing, birthing whatever. That's so stupid and dumb. These words that these people are using these days to describe what a natural born woman is dumb. Yes, all women cannot produce children, but they are still women when they grow up. They're little girls and then they grow up into a woman, whether they can have a baby or not. It's just like in order to have a child, you still need that seed and you need that egg in order to join itself so it could, create life. And, I don't have nothing against nobody, trans people, gay people, what you call them, bisexual people. I don't have nothing against them. That's their life. What's a sin to me may not be a sin to them. But because I may not look at it the way they look at it, it don't mean that I'm going to condemn them. It don't mean that I'm going to judge them. It's just that I know what I like and like they know what they like. That's, like I said, it's between them and their maker. But this thing they was talking about, how women going to be replaced by trans, how is that? You can't even create. You cannot create. A sperm cannot create a life without the egg. Now, you have these artificial pregnancies, or, ways of doing it. Because I think the brat did it, because I don't think she had the pangalanga-langalangs. But anyway, she was injected. Now, but in order for her to be pregnant, she had to get a seed. She had to get that sperm, a human sperm, in order to produce the child that she just had. Now, even though she may, I don't know if she, what you call it, my daughter told me stud or, I guess the stud is the ones who, in their minds, that they are the man. So, but even though you're a man in your mind, your body, your reproduction organs is still female. And that means that you can still get pregnant and carry a child and give birth. But the trans people, they can, they can have sex, but they cannot produce life. And the only way they can produce life is that somebody have to carry a child that is a product of their seed. Because you can put two men together, whether that person had, had their body parts altered, or whatever, but it can't produce, it cannot produce, it can't create. And that's just the natural born facts. But like I said, you got people out here that's trying to do different, the scientists. I read this real too. They got people that, these scientists, man, they got people like trans people landed up. They want uterus because they know if you didn't have their uterus in those fallopian tubes, they can't, it's no way possible for them to have a child. So what they want to do is they've asked women to donate their uterus, to donate, their reproduction organs. And I guess they're going to take that organ and they're going to put it in a male, that was born a male and has transitioned to a female. And so that person would be able to experience what it is to be pregnant and to give birth. Now, in God's law, that is an abomination. Now, I'm just saying God's law. I ain't got nothing to do with it. But a lot of people may not, they may not understand what I'm saying. But like I said, but they shouldn't argue with each other. I mean, it is what it is. You got men out here that prefer to be with other men. You got men out here that prefer to be with a man that was a man and became a woman, all because of them getting their privates cut off. And that's all of a sudden they are a woman. And when you said that you were born into the wrong body, God does not make mistakes. We make mistakes. It's our mindsets that causes us to believe a lie, knowing the truth, but we believe the lie. And if those lies can be told enough and long enough, the masses is going to believe that lie. And a lot of people don't agree with me because so many folks have conformed to the beliefs that if you said this, then you are discriminating against these people. I have no reason to discriminate against anybody. It's just, facts is facts. You probably say, well, that's your truth. Well, but you can't take my truth and twist it, because I don't believe in it and everything. And I never will. Like I said, if I have to walk my journey by myself, knowing that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, what you do is your business, then I'm satisfied. But I don't need nobody to try to manipulate my mind with lies and try to make me see you the way you want me to see you. It's not going to work. It never has worked with me. And like I said, I've never been a type of person that I bash anybody, gay, white, fat, short, skinny, tall. But, they have took the truth and twisted it. And the only thing that concerns me about that is when it's like that, it's with our children. Now, I raised my kids, to believe in God. I also raised my children to not, be mean or pick at people because you perceive them as being different than you. I've always tried to teach them to show love. The only time you show another side of you if somebody is attacking you. Now, see, I'm not attacking no one. I'm just stating my opinion. And I know what's evidence in this world. A lot of people don't see it because, like I said, we want to accept, if one of my kids had been like that, you had been felt, well, I'm born into the wrong body. I should be a girl or I should be a boy. Is that going to stop me from loving my child? No, it's not going to stop me from loving my child. That's their walk. That's their journey, not mine. But if I got children that is like grounded and they know the truth, they don't have to preach they don't have to tell you nothing. You know within yourself that it's a lie. It's fabricated. It's trickery. It's the tricking of the brain. Just like when people put on all this makeup. Okay, like before makeup, this is what I look like. After the makeup, after they did the put the, what you call it, I don't even know what they call it, contour, the mascara, the eyeliner, and all that stuff right there. You giving me a false of who you are. A lot of people are like, well, no, I'm just, enhancing. But it's a difference between enhancing and trickery. And I just don't understand the thing about you want me to believe and to accept your lies. That's your lie. That's your life. Do what you want to do. I don't care. It's just that you're not going to change my beliefs. I don't care how many, is against it and all this and that and the third, but you're not going to ever change my beliefs. Because like I said, we're all seeking and searching and trying to obtain mercy and grace from God. And I'm not going to sit up and say that a person that is, that is gay or transgender or bisexual or, lesbians don't love God. But see, we all read the word and our belief system is not the same. I may read this word and say, thou shalt not, and you may read that word and say, oh, they trying to pick on me. I'm mentally messed up because you telling me this and I believe this. Believe what you want to believe. I'm going to believe what I want to believe. I would never be the type of person to get out there and march and to crucify anybody before their beliefs. And I wouldn't expect nobody to do me for mine. Like I said, the road to heaven is narrow. And he said to enter into the straight gate. That means you don't waver to the left or to the right. If you go to the left, stay to the left. If you go to the right, stay to the right. But if you're trying to go between both parties, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Because he said, enter into the straight gate, right? He was saying that the road to heaven is narrow. That means every now and then you'll see a traveler going there. But the road to hell is broad. That means it's wide. And it's the massive, the thousands and billions of people are going to be headed that direction. Why? Because they do not want to acknowledge the truth. And they have took the truth and twisted it. And then they try to make you feel bad because you don't see things the way they see it. But like I said, I think it's wrong for people to not agree with them and then you be ostracized because you don't agree. But I'm not going to sit up here and try to debate and argue and bicker with nobody. You live your life the way you live it, just like I said before. It has nothing to do with me. You got preachers out here that, if you really want to hear the word and talk about God and then I've heard some people say, well, we don't know how God feels. Yes, you do if you read the word. It's simple. He tells you who's going to heaven and who ain't going to heaven. And he also said there's none sure of heaven but the ones that's already there. That means even down to our dead loved ones. They have not went to heaven yet. A lot of people, man, I used to have this guy that I used to talk to, nah, my people in heaven. No, they're not. Because judgment has not came yet. When judgment comes, that's when God, and Jesus is going to be the one who decide who will enter in and who will not. Not us. Now, they made it all good and stuff like that in the churches, and people believed it. My grandparents and they all believed that, they all Euless, he's in heaven. Sugar's in heaven. And I'm in the book that I read, in the book of Ecclesiastes, It's like, no, they're not. They are in like, I don't know if they in the first, third, the second. The third heaven, I believe, that's where God is. But they're like in a. If you read the one, I think it's in Matthew, it's about the rich man and Lazarus. Lazarus had died. The rich man had died. the Lazarus was in Abraham's bosom. It goes to show you, listen, the judgment has not been yet. It hasn't came yet. So even Abraham and Isaac and all of these people, they are still in that same realm. It's a spiritual realm that we do not possess. And there is a hellish realm that, thank God that we're not in at this moment. But like I said, I don't take my word for it. Read the word of God yourself. And, get your own understanding from it. The journey that I'm on is a personal journey. This is my walk, my journey. I can't carry nobody with me. I can't put you on my back, even though I would love to. I can't put you on my back and carry you with me because I don't know if my journey is your journey. I don't know if my journey will lead you on to God's heavenly glory or not. I can only go by what God relates to me as an individual person. And I try to put it out there to at least, try to let you know that don't let the media, don't let these people on YouTube, don't let all of these movies confuse you. Don't let people, they can judge, but don't you know the judgment, when they judge you, they're only judging themselves and they're condemning themselves in their judgment. Because they have a heaven or a hell. They can't put you in either place. Only God can do that. So, with that being said, I think I said too much. But I said this because I've always believed this. Live your authentic self. That goes for everybody. Anybody that watches me. I noticed that I have a lot of people that comes to my channel and they watch, but they don't subscribe. I don't know why they don't subscribe. And I don't know if they feel like, well, I won't I won't subscribe to her. A lot of people don't want to see you make it in life. Like I said, they won't mention your name. Maybe in Beloved's case, she may feel like my channel will pollute her for even saying my name. But, a person that, like I said before, I'm not a Christian. I'm a child of God. Christian murdered people. I don't murder nobody. Not with my tongue, not with my hands, not with my mind. But, the Christianity that, like I said, I'm a history buff. And I go all the way back to the kings and the queens, way back in the early 1200s and 11, then all back up in there. I go all the way back. And because I like the way they lived, because I love their mindset. Like I said, I love the way I am curious about the way people think. And they, why they think that way. And a lot of things that I see, like, okay, just like, I'm gonna say this right now, I'm finna go, y'all. And it's not racist, okay? I've only seen, when people said the white people, I've never seen a white person, ever. I've never seen a, I can't say I've never seen a black person because I have. I've seen, but I've never seen a black person that is this color. That's black. See, that's black. So that means that I'm brown. But I've never seen a person that is like, I'm gonna get an envelope. I've never seen a person that's like this. That's white. That's not close to my skin tone at all. I can put this up to one of my grandsons who is mixed, and I can put it up to his grandmama who's a white lady, that she calls it herself white, because that's what the massive have said about themselves in order to separate themselves from people like me. They're white and you're black. And then you got the ones that is a mixture of the two, and they either come out looking Mexican. I've seen them come out looking Asian looking. I've seen them come out looking all kind of ways. But what I'm saying is I put that same piece of paper up to the grandmama's face. And I'm like, so you this color? No. Oh, she said, oh, no. No, I'm not, I'm not like that. But I'm still white. I'm like, but that's white. This is white. You're not white. This is black. Okay? I'm not black. And I had problems with women, especially black women and black men, who would they wanted to identify themselves with their mates when their mates was a different ethnicity. And like I said, I wasn't trying to be smart. I shouldn't have said the other words. But my thing is, like it's right here, why come you just couldn't say, well, my husband, Jim, or my husband, Robert, or my wife, Emily, or my wife, Jude? You have to, why would you have to identify that unless you're trying to get self-gratification? To me, that's the way it perceived to me in my logic. Because I've never looked at people as being, I've always looked at people as being human. But I do know that there is no way in hell that Adam and Eve could have been this. No way. None of the people that was in the Old Testament looked like that. They didn't have that skin tone. Because this skin tone cannot produce this skin tone. You just can't do it. This skin tone can produce all kind of skin tones. All kind. And it depends on, who you mate with. So I just wanted to say that little bit, Like I said, sometimes I just be talking just to be talking. I be sitting here bored as heck, and different things come to my mind, and I'm like, I'm gonna put that on YouTube. I know I'll make some people, mad and probably don't want to subscribe to me, but don't sit up and tell me, you pee on me and tell me it's rain. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Don't try to twist the way, like you got some people don't even believe in the Bible. But that's on them. That's their life. Who am I to try to make you or force you to be a person that is saved? And like I said, I'm not religious. I don't believe in these holidays. I never have. Even though my parents celebrated these things, but I had to research, and I found out what these holidays actually meant. They're pagan holidays. These are holidays that is against the order, the law of Christ. They're against everything that God stands for. You know, I heard Q talking about the tarot cards and all that. All of that, the zodiac signs, uh, uh, some of these psychologists, you know, the things that they put in people's mind, they let people get away with stuff, you know, because it makes them feel better. Just like preachers do the same thing too. They will give you smooth saying words because they know they can draw you in. But a person like me, I'm going to give you straight up raw facts. And a lot of people don't agree with that. One of my doctors, I was trying to tell y'all about that in my last video. He thought that I was a teacher. He didn't know anything about that I didn't graduate from high school. Yeah, I didn't graduate from high school. No, I didn't go to college. No, no, I didn't. But I'm going to learn it. I believe if I had went through, but I didn't want to learn their doctrine. I didn't want to learn the things that they wanted us to learn because they wanted us to conform to their way. So it made them feel better. I cannot do that. I told my doctor that. And that's why he thought that I was a teacher. And, you know, and I was like, no, I'm not a teacher. I said, I didn't even graduate from high school. And he was like, wow. He said, how do you know all of these things? And I'm like, well, a lot of these things I was taught. And a lot of these things I'm going to give, and it came from God. A lot of these, I'm going to tell you something. When I was like 5 years old. And, you know, back in my day, we didn't have the stuff that y'all have today as far as like toys. We had toys, but we didn't have like electronics and stuff like that. And we used to make like little playhouses or tree houses and stuff like that on our property. And at one time, it was the neighborhood kids, a couple, I think about 4 of them. Two of them was my siblings, my sister and my brother, because there's only 3 of us. And also, too, it was, we had a box. My granddad had built me my own little playhouse. And I was in the box. Came from an old refrigerator. It came from a refrigerator. It was a refrigerator box. You know, back then, everything was delivered in boxes, stoves, refrigerators, and stuff like that. So anyway, they built a box and he built me a little house in there. So I would go in there because I was always the type of person, I was an introvert. And I didn't know what that, you know, I didn't know what, I'm learning now what an introvert is, okay? It's just like, what they call them, I'm trying to think of the name. Let me see if I can pull it up. Y'all, I can't even think of the name of what they call it. It's called, wait a minute, babies. I'm sorry. It's the opposite of being a narcissistic, being narcissic. Empath. But I found out that I was a stigma empath. And because everything that they said, you know, I'm like, yeah, I felt this way all my life. I just didn't know why. And, you know, if you have the time, just look it up. And that sometimes, you know, they'll tell you about the type of mindset, my personality traits that I have. And like I said, I used to feel like a sponge, you know. People would bring their problems to me and I would absorb all of that energy and it would just make me sick. It made me sick to the point that I'm like, oh my God, I just need to get this out of me. And then I would pray. And then this one lady told me, she said, you need to wear the color yellow. She said, not, so because, you know, my brain is still like a sponge, like a child's mind. My mind is always learning. And so, and I'm not afraid to say that, some people don't like to admit that they're still learning. And I think I'll be like this to the day I die because I love knowledge. And, but anyway, my granddad had built me my own little house. And I was in my house, and all of a sudden, I was playing in it, and all of a sudden, I was knocked the hell out. And when I came to, I was in the hospital. I had a gash right here in my head. You can't see it anyway because my hair done covered it up. But it's about that long. I had a big gash in my head here, from here all the way back to there. And all I seen was colors. And I seen like blood. My whole face was just filled with blood. And I had blood all on my clothes. My mother had blood all over her. My daddy wasn't there at the time because my daddy was working. And ever since that day, I have had a different mindset. Me and my brother, my sister, we all came from the same mother, from the same womb, from the same father. But my mindset was always different from theirs. I was childish, but I was childish but mature at the same time in my brain, which made me see things different than what they seen it. So, but yeah, I think that had a lot to do with me wanting to really be knowledgeable because I couldn't talk for almost 6, 7 months, or maybe longer. And I had to get my motor skills back together again. And then, like I said, I was a child. I didn't know these things. But my granddaddy, bless his heart, he gave me a little Bible to read. But was nothing wrong with my eyes, thank God. So I read that little Bible, and I read it through and through. It was like, them little Testament Bibles. The one comes in the green, the whites, and I think they come like brown or gray. But anyway, I read through that, and I noticed something. Everything that I read, I memorized it. It stayed. And it's like that to this day. So I'm like, why do I remember these things? Why do these things stay in my mind like this? And it took me, once I got over the C19, I had to put these things in order because everything was out of order. Like I said, I thought I had a stroke. I didn't know what had happened. But I always felt like something was in the top of my head because it was very painful. And I kept trying to reach for it, thinking I was reaching for it with my hands, but they had me like strapped down, because they had gave me the wrong medication, and which caused me to lose a lot of blood. And that's, I'm in my 60s, right? So, but I had started learning how to put things back together again. And, but anyway, like I said, I'm not on here. I don't like to complain. I try not to complain about anything because, like I said, I'm on a higher level than that. And I know God placed me here to be on that higher level. And I may not be as appealing to some people as some people are. I may not be as animated. I may not be as, I'm not going to come on here lying, and I'm not going to come on here preaching. You know what I'm saying? So, but other than that, my swords, I try to give you knowledge. But like I said, I commend Eat With Q. I think she looked real pretty, and she looked pretty in her little bathing suit. She's relaxing in her crib, and she's eating, and she's being genuine. We got to forget the stuff that's behind. Whatever she went through back in the day, that was back then. This is now. That means that her mindset is creative. It's a new she's a new human in her head and in her heart. And that's why, she always recognized God the way she does it. She's doing what she's supposed to do. She's acknowledging him. And that's the reason why he has directed her path the way he has. You don't have to be jealous of anybody. You don't have to feel like you're in competition with anybody. I don't compete with nobody. I don't have to compete with you because I validate me. I move at my own pace. I move at my own, the ripple of the tides. I'm on those tides and I'm still moving. I may not move as fast as you move, but I'm still moving. Hey, man, that's cool. That's good too. And, some people died never reaching their goals in life, which, it's a sad thing. But even though you didn't reach your goals, your potential, your full potentials, it don't mean that you have to grieve about it. You write about it, and then you proceed to do something else to change it. If it's no more than just listen to beautiful music, if it's no more than just learning how to relax and smell the roses. Sometimes alone, some people say, I don't like being alone because my mind gets to be so noisy. But sometimes you got to learn how to drown out all the noise, all the conversation. Even if you got to go to a park or sit by a lake or just in your backyard and just sit there and just breathe in the goodness of God, breathe in his air. Allow the sun to radiate over your skin. That's for anybody. It's not just for me alone. It's for everybody. And when I want to laugh or get tickled, I watch stuff about animals because I think animals are so cute. And I think the stuff that they do is necessary because that's what they are. They're animals. They're wildlife. And I've been watching this series, and it's called The Last Alaskans. And, they live in Alaska. And these people are surviving. They build their own cabins. They hunt for their food. They love moose. I think the moose lasts them like a whole year. It lasts them throughout the winter. I don't think the caribou lasts that long. It depends on how much they eat. But then they fish, and they raise their babies there and kids. They got one couple, they children was raised from toddlers, from babies all the way up. But it's a very interesting series. And the one I've been watching is it's on Max, I believe. I think you can find it on Hulu too. I think you can find it. I don't know if it's on Netflix or not, but I know you can find it on Hulu, and I know you can find it on Roku, and I know you can find it on Max. If you look at it on Max, you don't get no commercial. But if you look at it on the other two, you're going to get commercials. And I think one of them's got ones you got to pay in order to see that other episode. But anyway, y'all, I'm finna get off of here. I'm finna go in there. I brought me some cube steaks, and I'm finna to unthaw them. I should have been unthaw them, but I'm finna unthaw them, and I'm finna cut them up in like little cubes, and then I'll make me some kind of noodles with it. And then make me a sauce that goes with it. Probably some, I think I'm putting some onions and garlic. And I got me some carrots. I'll put some carrots in there and let it cook, simmer real good. And make me a broth from that and eat it like that. And if it turns out right, I'll bring it on here just let y'all see it. Just a little short. and how it turned out. But, I'm going to season it with my salt and my pepper. I think I got some more pepper in there. I got red pepper flakes, but I got to be very lightly with it because like I told y'all before, I have a fistula that developed from the surgery that they performed on my stomach, and it's right below my stomach. And I got to keep it, I got to keep gauze in it because the little hole is probably about that big, like my little fingernail, my little nail. It's about that big. And it constantly, fluids come out of it. And I have to keep it, clean. And I went to the doctor and he was so amazed how clean my stomach, my belly was, because he was like, most people, they would have like skin damage, where their skin are broken down because of the acid that comes out through my stomach lining. And I don't know why come they can't, fix that. If they can give people those laparoscopic surgeries or tie in tubes, it seemed to me that they can go into that intestines without having to cut me open again to repair that. But anyway, it causes me a lot of discomfort. And sometimes that's the reason why I'm not really walking the way I should, but I have been walking more. And it's terrible when I have to lay down and, I have to sleep a certain kind of way so it won't burn my belly. Because I think what it is the fluid from the acid. That's why I had to stop drinking coffee, because coffee I guess it was building up too much acid. And if I eat those hot pepper flakes, like I love hot sauce, but if I eat hot sauce, that would I've been shot up out of that bed like a rocket. And even though I have regular, bowel movements, they was talking about the only way they can correct that down there is they have to give me a colostomy bag. And I'm like, no, that's too extreme. I don't want that. But so far, for the last couple of days, that flow that comes out, that fluid, it has subsided a lot, thank God. And when it subsides, it'll have a chance to heal up. So I'm praying and I'm putting it in God's hands. And so, but anyway, Swartz, I'm finna get off of here. Like I said, I've gotten hungry, and I hope people don't misunderstand my commentary. And those that comes and view my channel, will you please think about subscribing to my channel and giving me a thumbs up? Because like I said, I do want to make me an income. And the income that I want to make comes from YouTube. And, so I'm almost there. And I thank God for the ones who have came and subscribed. And I thank God for the ones who have viewed my channel. It seems like they like my shorts, but the shorts is not really giving me any watch hours. And even though they review my shorts, they don't subscribe. They have been giving me thumbs up though. I got to admit that. So Swartz, y'all have a beautiful, beautiful rest of a Tuesday. And if I'm not back on here Wednesday or Thursday, I'll probably be back on here Friday or probably Saturday. So, and I might be back on here tomorrow. I don't know. It really depends on what I want to talk about. But I thank God for all of you all, and I thank you so much for rocking with me. And like I said, just keep your whole armor up. Give all praise and glory to God. Always keep him first. Seek his kingdom first. And keep your shield up, no matter what. Don't let nobody penetrate. They'll try. They will try to tear your armor down. And I'm speaking to the ones who feel lost, who feels like don't nobody like me, who feels like I'm not accepted by anybody. Put on your whole armor of God. You don't have to fight these people. Change your mindset, baby. Change the way you see yourself. and elevate yourself. God will do the rest. You put the work in, God is going to do the rest. And, that's your opinion of me. I don't have to agree with everything that you agree with. Don't get solemn. Don't get, upset because I may not see things the way you see it. That's my way of seeing things. So anyway, I am finna go, and I love you all with the love of the Lord. I love you, Swartz. Bye.